Kill the coverage and then watch how quickly they forget the same issues people said that we cannot neglect. What up, y'all? Welcome back. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you. And I haven't. I'm still here. I'm back. More than a week late. This is the Sexual Intellectual Podcast, and I am your host, JD, aka He Who Pods. And we're going to start with story time. That's how we're starting off this pod. And so, if you don't follow LHRC, that's Let's Have a Real Conversation, then you may not know that I went to Roots Picnic. You can look up what that is, but it's basically a hip-hop festival. It was awesome times. And I was away for a weekend. That's why there was no episode last week. I was having too much fun. And in the midst of that, I did a little bit of shopping. Sometimes you need a shirt or you just want to switch your shit up. And in the midst of shopping, I happened to see a very attractive, very busty older woman. It was so random. I was just going up the escalators, minding my business, scanning left to right, and there it was. Just below where I was at, a woman who was definitely above 50 with lots of cleavage out. And this lady was looking good. She was doing her thing. And it made me think, what's dating like at that age? I mean, I wasn't going to approach her, but if someone was going to approach her who was her age, how does that go? And so I had an interesting conversation with a friend of mine, and just so happened about 24 hours later, an article stumbled across my feed. I'd like to share that article with y'all. And here we go. And so this is from insider.com, and the title reads, "A 72-year-old woman felt lonely after moving states until she joined a dating app for cougars." Word! I thought that was so interesting that came up just days later. I mean, like a day later. And so the key points are that this woman, who they changed her name for the article purposes, she's 72 years old. She uses the dating app. There's like a cougar app apparently where you can meet younger dudes. And that's where she be on. And so she says she gets 10 to 20 messages each week from dudes, younger men, wanting to chat and take her out on dates. She says she prefers younger men because she feels they see her as their equal. I thought that was so interesting that the people who are 70 years old don't see her as an equal. She goes on to say in the article, she moved from Cali to Jersey, and that's when she had no contact with anyone. She had no friends, no family, and definitely no boyfriends. That's what they make sure to let you know. And, you know, she speaks about her dating experience with younger dudes. And I thought that was really interesting because, here, let me see. It says she receives messages mostly from men in their 30s and 40s. And they ask, you know, they send emojis, and they even ask blunt questions like, what are her fetishes? A first date normally will involve a few cocktails, and she'll keep it casual, aside from the occasional hotel room rendezvous. Grandma be fucking, y'all. That's what this means. Grandma be fucking. That's what they trying to say in nice words. The occasional hotel rendezvous. Grams be fucking. That's what that means. All right? Grams is out here doing her thing. All right, let's skip a bit. Where else it goes here? And then they spoke to someone from Bumble. And they have some Bumble stats here. It says a Bumble spokesperson told Insider that a survey of 1,134 U.S. adults by the dating app in March showed that 71% of baby boomer respondents aged 59 to 77 were open to using dating apps to meet someone this year. Grandma and grandpa are getting it popping, y'all. Can you believe it? I thought it was kind of wild that this is going on. Listen, I ain't mad at them, you know? The libido continues at all ages, in all stages. And I just thought it was really interesting that the universe put that in my lap, so to speak, right after seeing this woman and wondering, how does that go? I still wonder, how does it go? If you know older people who are dating in their 50s, 60s, 70s, I'd love for some feedback. If you're watching this in your 50s, 60s, 70s, I'd love some feedback. Let me know, how does that go? Do you prefer to date younger? Do you feel awkward dating people your age? I just thought it was really interesting. The article doesn't go on to say much more, But I thought it was really interesting that she prefers to date younger people and made sure to stress that they see her as an equal. I wonder why people 70 don't see her as an equal. Is it because she's a grandma baddie, quote unquote? What is it? And yes, if you don't know, this woman was white in the article. I would love to know more research about our type of folks, but that's the article that came up. So I thought I'd share it with y'all. And older people are dating and fucking. And I think that's wild. We don't really imagine grandma getting busy. You know, you imagine like, oh, grandma's gonna cook the food you like, nice Sunday dinner. She's gonna have supper at 4 and be in bed by 8:30. Nah, grandma is fucking, baby. Grandma got a hot date after Sunday dinner. I thought that was wild. And so I thought I'd share it with y'all. And that is our sexual topic for today. And it's kind of sexual, but kind of not. It goes to show that companionship, fun, and arousal still happen later in our years, and people are still doing it. I also thought it was interesting that more older people are open to the apps because I know people in their 30s, 40s, and early 50s who don't like using the apps. They hate the fact that we are almost required to use apps in today's age. And so look at the boomers making all of us look bad. You know what I'm saying? They said Generation X, sorry. Millennials, sorry. Gen Z, sorry. We here. And grandma and grandpa might scoop up somebody you was looking at. You swiped right hoping to get a hot date. They out with grandma and grandpa trying to see. Never mind. Let's move on. And now we move on to some less interesting things, but more serious things. And so there are some states suing, and you may have heard about this. They're suing 3M, DuPont, over what they're calling forever chemicals being in the water supply. This is an ongoing thing. It seems like it's being settled. They actually pushed back a court date last week because it seems like the states, or at least some of the states, have reached settlements with 3M and the other companies. But there's a lot of toxic chemicals in the water in multiple states. And so I'm not going to dive into all of it just yet. I want to wait until the legalities are settled. But I will say this, putting the article down for a moment. We should all be looking into what we are drinking. I constantly speak about drinking water on all my platforms. I am constantly seen drinking water on every pod I do. You always see me drinking water and or coffee. And water is vital to all human life. Well, really to all life on the planet, period, right? And so these forever chemicals, quote unquote, are being given that name for a reason. And so I implore you all to look into what is going on in your state and the states that your family members live in. They may not be the same states, and see what exactly is going on with these lawsuits and the water supply. Also, what type of filtration system your building or you personally have, because they all take out different things. Even like filters that go into the nozzle of your faucet vary from the ones that are pitchers, even though they may be the same brand. And so you should really look into the filtration system that your state has, that your building has, and that you as an individual have, and try to see what is the best course of action, because they don't give a fuck about any of us. I constantly come up here and say that Michael Jackson was right. I will say it again. They don't really care about us. And I think they have continued to prove that, because in these settlements, we really don't see families getting paid. It really be state shit that gets done. And so it is quite possible, it's very likely, is a high probability that we are all being affected by this, because there are numerous states that are involved in these lawsuits. So I implore you all to look into what's going on with water in your state and see what you can do to up the quality of water that you and your family are ingesting, consuming, drinking, because water is very important. We can't just boycott water. But we should try to get water that is clean, or the cleanest we can get it based on our resources, budget, state guidelines, etc. And there's nothing wrong with going above and beyond. There are plenty of states who say the water is great and the water is fine. But we find out later on that that's not true. So even if you live in one of the states that say, hey, thumbs up, the water's good, you can drink it straight out the tap, you might want to look into these lawsuits and see how true that is and see what types of other water you can consume. I am not a big fan of purchasing water in bulk or water bottles, but hey, if you are in one of the states that have this going on, perhaps that is the better route. It's going to be different for everyone, again, based on your state, what's going on with the water in your state, what's going on. Some buildings have different filtration systems. And so everyone as an individual should be looking into this. I implore you to do so. Drink water and try to find the best way to do that today with all the crazy shit going on. All right, let's get into these presidents. Somebody hit the drop, please.
Politics as usual.
Politics as usual. Let's start with Big Bad Biden. Yo, why my man keep falling, man? What's going on? This is not how it's supposed to go. No, he can't just be falling. I know it's old news at this point, but I haven't potted. And so I got to come up here and ask questions. Why does Biden keep falling everywhere? Yo, what's up? Y'all got to get this guy's legs together. You need to be doing some leg press machine, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like you got to do something here. Like, what's going on? Is it his calves? Is it his thighs? Like, is it his, like, what's going on? What's going on with Biden? Biden, yo, you can't be the leader of the free world and just be falling all over the place, player. What's up? I'm not Republican or Democrat, but I just got to be honest. As a person just looking, just saying, hey, what's going on over here? Let me just see what Router's posted today. This motherfucker's falling on every channel on YouTube and the news. God damn, they got the footage of this guy just falling all over the place. Biden falls again. There goes the president falling. Damn! Biden, what up, player? I mean, we got all this White House staff. Can't nobody get him a trainer? Or is it a deeper issue? Is it like a neurological thing where the brain ain't sending the signals to the legs? What's going on? Because if it is a neurological issue, yo, maybe we need somebody else to step in. Maybe Biden got to step down. Maybe he can't finish the year. There's a lot of shit going on. Maybe we got to get somebody to be substitute president. I mean, we got a vice president who seems like she not falling. I don't know where the fuck she's at. I ain't heard from her since Nixon was president. Shout out to my boy Days. That's his line. But yo, if the man can't walk, how can he lead the free world? Let's have a real conversation. I mean, really though, you're just going to be falling everywhere? That looks real bad. And we be laughing here. Imagine how motherfuckers overseas are looking at it. Yeah, they talking about we can't continue our little shit. You know what I mean? They talking about they gonna press us at the G7, but look at this nigga, he's falling. Come on, man. You think the other countries are scared of us when the president is falling? I don't think so. Now, let's keep it on politics. You know who else is not scared, or at least is trying really hard to tell us he's not? Yo, Trump. Trump don't seem like he gives a fuck about these indictments. He is trying hard with his poker face. I don't believe him. Do y'all believe him? Do y'all believe Trump is fearless and don't give a fuck about these indictments? I don't think it's true. I think Trump is scared. And he probably should be because they're going in. It seems like they have a lot of evidence about him fucking up. I don't know. It remains to be seen. Every day there's more shit. Like every day another lawyer comes out or another piece of evidence or another thing the government says. I think it's really interesting. But I think what's more interesting is Trump don't seem like he's scared. He wants some, this shit is not going nowhere. Nah, this is what he was saying, like this is an injustice. You know, I got to say one thing about the guy, man. He's entertaining. He might be full of shit, but that guy is entertaining. And I just couldn't believe it that he's just like, yeah, it's all good. I'm still running for president. Don't even worry. Still going to make the country great again. Don't even worry. That guy is good. I said before, Trump is a genius. I'll say it again. But man, that guy's entertaining if nothing else. And so we'll see what happens with all the indictments. I don't want to spend too much time on it because like I said, every time I check or every time I recycle the news feed, there's a whole new list of things going on or some teeny tiny update. So we're going to see how this unfolds, but we will be reporting and discussing the indictments as they happen. I did see an awesome question from someone asking why is it that only he is being indicted and not Biden. And I don't know if y'all fuck with Under the Desk News, but I do. I like their style of reporting. And so Under the Desk News did a great short video addressing it. And the summary is that basically Biden's situation with him mishandling classified files is still under investigation. And so they can't indict while they're still investigating. It's also why it took a minute for Trump to be indicted and questioned on all of these things, because they had an investigation with the things going on with him and, you know, Murcielago and all that shit. Mar-a-Lago? Mar-a-Lago. Murcielago is a whole different conversation. And so, yeah, so Biden's stuff is still under investigation. And there seems to be like a lot of cooperation from Biden's side where apparently Trump did not cooperate. And so y'all know how it is, man. If you ain't trying to play ball, then the government's not going to be happy about that. And so they're going to have questions and they're going to use, you know, all the tax dollars to come at you if they need to, or if they feel they need to. And so that is what's going on. But we will continue to discuss the Trump indictments. And now I don't think I even need specs for the rest of this. And so I'm going to take these off for just a second. I don't think I'm done with the phone. And so I just want to say, in my short time, on this planet, I don't think I've ever seen so many people set tripping. And for those who are not from the hood, let me explain what that means. I've never seen so many people going against their own group of friends, group of party members, group of, you know, there's people in your squad, quote unquote. Man, is it me or are there 9 million Republicans running for office? Wow. Every day there's another announcement about a Republican running. Again, I'm not Republican or Democrat, but this shit is entertaining. They're going up against each other. They're going up against the same belief system that they preach against. It's so interesting to me that there are so many Republicans running. And yes, I know, usually a bunch of people run on the Republican side, a bunch of people run on the Democratic side. And as we get closer, people, you know, they leave, other people get endorsed, other people kind of team up until the entire group chooses a representative, you know, as we get closer to the actual campaign. Yes, I know all of those things. But my God, it's like every Republican is running for president this time. Wow. I'm telling you, this shit is like WWE out this motherfucker. It's like Vince McMahon himself was like, all right, this year I'm going to write the politics for the United States. I got it. Don't worry. Just cut me a nice check and we're going to make this one a good one. Like, yo, we going to have a tables, ladders, and chair match next? This shit is crazy. I cannot believe so many Republicans are running. It's like every couple days, another one announces, yep, well, I've decided I'm going to run for president. God damn, that's a lot of motherfuckers running for president. It's so interesting. I usually don't even watch the debates in full. I cannot wait to watch these debates and see these motherfuckers argue this time. I'm going to be like Michael Jackson with the popcorn and Thriller, because this shit is going to be so much fun to watch. Even the ones who have similar quote-unquote policies and similar things they quote-unquote want to fix, even those motherfuckers are talking shit about each other. Have y'all seen Trump and DeSantis diss each other? That shit is funny. That shit is funny to me. Meanwhile, I don't know what the Democrats are doing, but man, if all y'all got is Biden, y'all better get it together. I mean, y'all might as well put me up for president, because it ain't gonna work with this guy just falling everywhere. You know what I'm saying? At least you could show me jogging around the White House or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I just wanted to say that because I was like, man, I don't remember this many people ever running from the same group. It's like everybody wants a shot at being president this year. And so, yeah, that's it. I'm just interested in what's going on over there with all the president-elects and all the people throwing their hat into the, you know, the campaigns, you know, trying to see what they could do, you know, try to see how they can change this great nation for the better. I'm sorry. This shit is comical to me. And so, yeah, that's it, folks. I'm keeping it short and sweet. You know, I like to keep this pod within a certain time frame. Feel like we hit a couple topics. And I will do my best to be better with coming out on time. I know, this one is a week late and a couple days. It's like crazy out here. It's my fault. I take the blame. I will work on being better. Thank you for being here, and I will see y'all real soon. Adios.